9 years of silence ended when my mother rang my doorbell with a suitcase in one hand and a bill in the other. My name is Iris Ellison, and I am 33 years old. 14 days ago, a gray sedan pulled up to my curb, and the woman who gave birth to me stepped out. She was wearing a beige cardigan and carrying a small rolling suitcase, as if she were a distant relative arriving for a weekend visit. She wasn't here for a visit. She held a piece of paper, folded into thirds. It was a list, 5 bullet points written in her careful handwriting. The total came to just under $1 million. She hadn't called ahead. She hadn't asked how I was. She didn't even mention my children by name. She said, "We need to discuss the family's future." But my mother didn't realize I had been keeping a ledger of my own. For 9 years, I had been documenting every returned card, every ignored message, every piece of evidence that she had decided I no longer existed. She brought a list of her wants. I had a binder full of receipts. Before I get into what happened next, I want to show you what I saw through my kitchen window that morning. If you're new here, please take a moment to like and subscribe to Winds of Thought. It truly helps these stories reach more people. While you're at it, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I love reading those. Let me take you back to the summer I turned 24. That was the summer my family drew a line in the sand and told me I was standing on the wrong side of it. I grew up in a small farming town in the Midwest. One main street, one hardware store, one diner where the coffee was always burnt and the gossip was always fresh. That was my whole world until I left for college. My father, Kenneth, worked a blue-collar job for 3 decades. Same shift, same work boots, same exhausted nod when he walked through the door at exactly 5:42 every evening. My mother, Diane, ran the household and the church women's committee with equal precision. She organized the potlucks, coordinated the prayer chain, and decided who got to bring the best dishes to every event. Nobody argued. My younger sister, Paige, was everything I wasn't. She was confident, loud, the kind of girl who won homecoming queen and acted genuinely surprised. Mom adored her. Dad called her his ray of sunshine. I was the responsible one, the one who did the dishes without being reminded, the one who aced every math test, the one who never got a party thrown in her honor. I'm not telling you this out of bitterness. I'm telling you so you understand the equation. In our household, love was a limited resource, and Paige was always the first line item in the budget. I got a full scholarship to a state university when I was 18. I was the first person in our family to go to college. Mom packed my suitcase and tucked a card inside with my favorite flowers on the front. She wrote, "Come home soon, you belong here." I kept that card for 15 years. It's still in my desk drawer, right next to the navy binder I mentioned. That card was the last kind thing she ever gave me. I met my future husband, Marcus, in an advanced statistics class during the spring of my junior year. He sat 2 rows ahead of me and could solve complex equations like he was reading a newspaper, calm, unassuming, never rushing. He was studying engineering and computer science, paying his way on a partial scholarship from Cleveland. His mother, Cora, had raised him alone after his father left. She was a retired school librarian who worked 2 jobs for years so Marcus could have a chance. Marcus was biracial. He had his mother's warm eyes and his father's strong jawline. But what drew me to him wasn't his appearance, it was how he listened. When I spoke, he heard me. Our first date was at a food truck near campus. He paid with crumpled bills, I paid with my spare change. We shared a single dessert and talked until the vendor closed up shop. He told me he wanted to build something that solved a real problem. I told him I wanted a career where my work had weight and meaning. We dated for 3 years before he proposed. They were 3 quiet, steady, unremarkable years in the best way. He met my parents twice. The first time, my mother smiled a little too wide and called him Michael by mistake. The second time, she got his name right but refused to meet his eyes. My father shook his hand and said nearly nothing. At a family Thanksgiving, Paige leaned over and whispered, "He's great, but Mom will never be okay with this. You know that, right?" I didn't want to believe her. Marcus proposed on a weekday afternoon. No big spectacle, no dramatic moment. He just looked at me across our small apartment kitchen table and said, "I want to spend my life with you. Will you let me?" I said yes before he could finish his sentence. I called home that night. My mother picked up on the 3rd ring. When I told her, the line went silent for 7 full seconds. Then she said, "You need to think about what this means for this family." Not congratulations. A warning. My father got on the extension and said nothing. 2 days later, Paige texted me, "Mom has been crying since your phone call. Are you happy now?" I was happy. For the first time in years, I was genuinely happy, but I didn't reply. 2 weeks after that call, a letter arrived in the mail. Not an email, not a text, a handwritten letter on cream-colored stationery. She wrote 4 paragraphs. The last one was devastating. She said, "If you go through with this, you are choosing him over your family. He is not one of us, Iris. He never will be." I read that letter 3 times, folded it carefully, and placed it in a manila folder. I didn't know why I kept it at the time. But some part of me, the part that filed receipts and balanced checkbooks, told me to hold on to it. We got married at the county courthouse on a Saturday in June. We had a dozen guests, all friends, mostly from Marcus's side. His mother flew in from out of state with a garment bag and a homemade pound cake. She pinned a simple flower to my dress, held my hands, and said, "Welcome to the family, baby." My father wasn't there to walk me down the aisle. There was no aisle, just a fluorescent-lit hallway and a judge who mispronounced our names. We celebrated at a Thai restaurant, pushing tables together and laughing until tears streamed down our faces. My dress cost less than $200 from a second-hand shop. Marcus wore a suit he bought on clearance. We looked like 2 people who had just done the most important thing of their lives on a shoestring budget. We had no other choice. That night, I sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the bouquet I was still holding, grocery store roses, $6, and my hands were shaking. Not from doubt, from grief. I had just married the love of my life, and the 2 people who raised me didn't care enough to witness it. Some doors close quietly, not with a slam, but with the soft click of a heart that's been worn out. A week later, I mailed a card to my parents. Inside was a photo of Marcus and me on the courthouse steps, both beaming. I wrote on the back, "We are happy. I hope you can be happy for us someday." The card came back 11 days later, stamped in red ink, "Return to sender." I stared at that stamp for a long time. Then I opened my manila folder and added it to the pile. That was the beginning of my binder. Year 1 was the hardest. I called my mother 4 times. Every call went to voicemail. I left messages, careful, measured, the kind where you measure every word. "Hi, Mom, just calling to say hi. We're doing well. Marcus has a great new job. I'm studying for my license. I miss you. Please call me back when you're ready." She never called back. I sent birthday cards, Christmas cards, even a Father's Day card for my dad. All of them came back with the same red stamp. My father sent a single text one February. Just 4 words, "Your mother needs time." That was it. No follow-up, no explanation, no apology. Paige posted a family photo on social media that spring. It showed my parents, Paige, and her boyfriend, all smiling at a Sunday dinner. The caption read, "With my people." I wasn't in the photo. I hadn't been invited. I took a screenshot and printed it. Not to punish myself, but because I had started something I couldn't explain. I was filing everything. Every returned card, every unanswered call, every piece of evidence that my family had decided I no longer existed. I started with a manila folder. By March, that folder was so full I had to transfer everything to a 3-ring binder. Navy blue, I labeled each tab by year. By year 2, Marcus had quit his job. But he hadn't done it recklessly. He had a plan. For months, he had been building a prototype on nights and weekends, software that helped small businesses manage complex financial filings. He knew compliance inside and out. I knew finance. Between us, we understood a problem nobody else was paying attention to, making paperwork manageable for companies that couldn't afford lawyers. He set up a desk in our garage with 2 monitors and a space heater. I would come home from my analyst job every evening, heat up leftovers, and sit beside him reviewing models until midnight. I built the pricing structure. I wrote the compliance checklists. He built the engine. I built the dashboard. We launched our company with just 4 customers and a free trial that crashed twice on the first day. But we kept going. That year, I upgraded my binder. The manila folder was overflowing. Returned cards, voicemail transcripts, 1 screenshot, and the original ultimatum letter. I bought a proper navy binder with dividers for each year. I labeled everything with a red pen and a date. I wasn't building a case for revenge. I was doing what I had always done, keeping records. Because financial analysts don't throw away documentation. But I did start numbering the items. And I did start writing dates on each one, because numbers don't lie. Then the twins came. Liam and Sophie arrived on a Wednesday morning in November. 6 pounds each, identical dark curls. Sophie screamed for hours. Liam slept through all of it. Marcus cried. I had never seen him cry before. He held Sophie in one arm and Liam in the other and stood by the hospital window, vowing they would always know they were loved. Marcus's mother, Cora, flew in the next day. She stayed for 2 weeks. She cooked, she cleaned, she rocked Liam at 3 a.m. while I fed Sophie. She brought a hand-crocheted blanket and 2 silver bracelets engraved with their birthdays. That was what a grandmother looked like. I had sent Diane the ultrasound photos months earlier. Returned. I sent birth announcements. Returned. I sent photos of Liam sleeping on Marcus's chest and Sophie gripping my finger. Returned. 3 more items added to the binder. One day, a mutual friend sent me a screenshot of a text from Paige. It said, "Her children don't have real grandparents." That's what she chose. I sat in the nursery with that text on my phone, Sophie asleep in her crib, Liam in my arms, listening to Cora hum in the kitchen. My children had a grandmother. Her name was Cora Ellison. She flew in from out of state every 6 weeks and never missed a birthday. By year 4, the binder had 19 items. I want to be clear, I didn't keep that binder out of spite. I didn't flip through it at night, nursing some fantasy of confrontation. Most weeks I forgot it existed. It sat in the bottom drawer of my desk, behind tax folders and old insurance documents. But every time something arrived, a returned card, a forwarded screenshot, a saved voicemail transcript, I filed it. Same process. Print, label, date, red pen. Marcus asked me once why I kept it all. I told him the truth. Someday, when the kids are old enough, they might ask why they don't have grandparents on my side. I want them to have facts. Not my version, not her version, the receipts. He understood. He was an engineer. Engineers build logs. By then, our company had grown. We had employees, a real office in the city, a conference room with a whiteboard that wasn't from a thrift store. Marcus still coded every morning. He refused to become the kind of CEO who stopped building the product. I handled everything else: cash flow, vendor contracts, quarterly projections. The company was his vision. The numbers were mine. We bought our first house that year. A modest home with original hardwood floors and a backyard with a fruit tree the twins claimed as their own. I remember signing the mortgage papers and thinking, this is ours. Nobody gave us this. We built it. On a Tuesday night in October, I made the mistake of checking social media. Diane had posted a family photo. Paige, her new husband, and a baby in a high chair, my nephew, whom I had never met. The caption read, "My whole world." 3 people in the photo, a table, a family that did not include me, my husband, or my children. I closed the app and went to bed without crying. I had stopped crying about Diane somewhere around year 3. Some wounds don't heal, they just go numb. Paige got married in year 6. I learned about it from social media. The photos were beautiful, a white church, hundreds of guests, Paige in a long veil. My parents were in the photos, smiling. I wasn't invited. I wasn't told. I found out days after the wedding from a friend's post. I zoomed in on the photo. My parents looked happy, and they looked happy without me. I did something I probably shouldn't have. I ordered a set of monogrammed napkins from a local boutique and mailed them to Paige. I wrote a card. "Congratulations on your wedding. I wish you every happiness." The package came back unopened. I added it to the binder. By year 7, our company had landed significant venture funding. I remember the phone call. Marcus was in the kitchen making pancakes. He answered, listened, nodded, and turned to me. He said, "They said yes." I did the math before the pancakes were done. We weren't rich yet, but the numbers were heading somewhere I had only ever modeled in spreadsheets. I left my analyst job that month and joined our company full-time as CFO. It was the first time my name appeared on the company paperwork next to his. The funding made a small splash in the business press. It wasn't a front-page story, but someone in my hometown noticed. A friend texted me, "Your mom asked about your husband's company at church. She wanted to know what the funding meant. Just thought you should know." I read that text 3 times. My mother hadn't spoken my name in 7 years. She didn't know what the funding meant, but she wanted to. That same year, I sent what I knew would be my last birthday card. I had sent one every year, 7 straight years, all returned. But this time, I tucked a photo inside of Liam and Sophie at their school festival. On the back I wrote, "They ask about you sometimes. I tell them you live far away." 11 days later, it came back. But this time, the envelope had been opened. The flap was creased and resealed with clear tape. Someone had looked at those children. I sat at the kitchen table, turning that envelope over and over in my hands. Someone had opened it. Someone had looked at their faces. Someone had likely wanted to keep it, and someone else had made them return it. I filed it. Item 23, opened and returned. Year 8 changed everything. Our company was growing faster than either of us expected. We had offices in 2 cities. Marcus appeared on the cover of a regional business magazine with the headline, "The Quiet Disruptor." Then Forbes ran its annual list of companies to watch, and we made it. A small mention, but it was Forbes. I noticed strange activity on my LinkedIn that month. Someone from my hometown had viewed my profile 3 times in 1 week. Then I received another text from my friend. "Your mom told a friend at church that she always knew Marcus was smart." 7 years of silence, and now she always knew. I didn't add that to the binder. It wasn't a document, but I wrote it on a Post-it and stuck it to the inside cover. I wanted to remember the moment Diane started rewriting history. People don't change their minds, they just change their calculations when the numbers get big enough. One Monday, my friend Tess called me. She sounded rattled. Paige accidentally added me to a family group chat. I was in it for 3 days before they noticed. I took screenshots. She sent me 7 screenshots. 3 days of unfiltered family conversation. I read them in the parking lot of my son's soccer practice. In the chat, Paige was tracking our company's valuation. My mother was strategizing. How do we approach this? Make a list. Be specific. She's a numbers person. She'll respond to numbers. Start with the mortgage, then medical, then retirement. Layer it so it looks like family investment, not a request. My father typed one message. "This doesn't feel right." My mother responded. "She has more money than this entire town. She can afford to help her family." I sat in my car, engine off, watching my son chase a ball across the field. 9 years of silence. 9 years of returned birthday cards and ignored grandchildren. And now, because the numbers had changed, they wanted to approach with a plan. I drove home and printed the screenshots. Item 26, family group chat. Reconnaissance confirmed. I showed Marcus that night after the kids were asleep. He read them slowly, the way he reads code, line by line, searching for bugs. He set the phone down and asked, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Nothing yet. But I want to be ready." He nodded. He didn't tell me how to feel or what to do. He asked what I wanted, and then he stood beside me while I figured it out. The next morning, I called a family attorney, not to file anything. I wanted to understand our position. Could Diane make any legal claim to our assets? To our children? The attorney walked me through it in 20 minutes. Diane had no legal standing. Our trusts were structured to protect our children. Oregon doesn't grant grandparent visitation rights without an existing relationship. 9 years of documented estrangement made any claim laughable. I thanked the lawyer and went to work. But I also did something else that week. I drafted a letter. I didn't send it. I just wrote it out long after midnight. In it, I listed every item in the binder, every date, every returned card, every ignored call. 26 items documented and ready, year 9. The IPO conversation began in January. Investment bankers flew into town. They reviewed our financials, our growth projections, our customer retention rates. They used words like roadshow and pricing range. Marcus handled the product pitch. I handled the numbers. Every slide, every projection, every risk disclosure. My name was on it. CFO, co-founder. The person who signed off on every filing before it left the building. The process took 7 months. 7 months of due diligence, legal review, investor meetings. Marcus barely slept. I barely ate. In August, our attorney finalized the trust structure for Liam and Sophie. 2 irrevocable trusts, funded and protected. Nobody, not Dan, not Kenneth, not Paige, not any future version of any Archer, could touch $1. I signed those trust documents on a Tuesday afternoon. The attorney asked if I had questions. I had one. If a family member attempts to claim access to these funds, what happens? She said, nothing. That's the point. 2 months before the IPO, Paige texted me. It was the first time in 9 years. The message arrived at 2:17 on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, just thinking about you. How are the kids? 6 words. 9 years, I didn't reply for a week. She followed up, I'm going to be in Portland for work next month. Would love to see you. I agreed to meet her. Not at our house, at a cafe in the city. Public, neutral, timed. Paige showed up 15 minutes late in a blazer and boots. She hugged me too long. She said, "You look amazing," 3 times in the first 10 minutes. Then she started asking questions. How big is your house? Do the kids go to private school? What neighborhood do you live in? Is Marcus still running the company? How many employees now? Have you raised more money? 32 questions. I counted. Not one was I'm sorry. Halfway through our coffee, I saw her phone angled toward the parking lot. She was taking a photo of my car. She was cataloging, building a report. I let her finish her latte. I answered her questions vaguely and politely. When we hugged goodbye, she held on too long again. I drove straight home and opened the binder. Item 28, Paige reconnaissance visit. Red pen, notes, 32 questions, photographed vehicle, no apology, no mention of past estrangement. I called the family attorney again. They're coming, my mother, probably within weeks of the IPO. She'll bring demands. The attorney asked what kind of demands. I told her about the group chat. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "You don't need me for this. You need the legal structure, and that's already done. What you're describing is a personal confrontation. For that, you just need to decide what you're willing to say." She was right. This wasn't about lawyers. This was about a woman who showed up because the numbers had changed. The IPO was set for a Wednesday in October. Marcus and I stood on the floor of the stock exchange, him in a dark suit, me in a navy blazer, and watched the stock open. By noon, it had climbed. By market close, it had soared. Market cap, over 400 million. Marcus and I held 10%. Net worth on paper, $44 million. I didn't know what to do with that number. It felt like a spreadsheet cell typed wrong. Too many zeros. Check the formula. But the zeros were right. I had checked the formula. That was my job. That night, we celebrated with room service sushi. Marcus fell asleep on the hotel couch, still wearing his suit jacket. I stayed up. Not because of the IPO, because of what I knew was coming next. I checked my phone. 5 missed calls, area code from my hometown. 3 from an unknown number. 1 from Kenneth. 1 from Diane. I didn't call back. I set the phone face down on the nightstand and stared at the ceiling. 9 years, 44 million. And suddenly, Iris Ellison was worth knowing again. Kenneth's voicemail arrived the next morning. His voice was thinner, older. "Baby girl, I saw you on the news. I didn't know what to say, so I'm just calling. I'm proud of you. I've always been proud of you. Your mother wants to talk. Please call her back when you can. I love you, Iris." I played it 3 times. "Baby girl." He hadn't called me that since I was 14, and "I'm proud of you." 4 words I had waited a decade to hear. But he called after the IPO, not after the wedding, not after the twins were born, not after any of the birthday cards. He was proud of me on paper. What he had never been was brave enough to pick up the phone when there were no millions attached to the call. Diane's text arrived 2 days later. It was long, carefully composed, no typos. She had edited it, probably read it aloud to herself. "Iris, I know we have lost time. I think about you and the children every day. Life is short, and I have learned that some things matter more than the differences that divide us. I would like to talk about the future. There are things that families should share." I read it twice, counted the words. Not one was sorry. Not one was I was wrong. Not one acknowledged that she had disowned me for marrying a man whose skin was a different shade than hers. She wrote, "The differences that divide us," as if our estrangement was a philosophical disagreement instead of a woman who returned 7 years of birthday cards unopened. I didn't reply. I screenshotted it, printed it, opened the binder. Item 29, first text from Diane in 9 years, 0 apology, red pen, dated, Tess called on a Friday. Paige is telling everyone she visited you in Portland. She's saying you live in a mansion. She's telling people Marcus struck gold. Your mom is planning a trip. She's packing a suitcase. I closed my eyes. I know. How? Because Paige counted every room in that cafe and photographed my car. What are you going to do? I'm going to open the door, and then I'm going to show her what I've been keeping in the bottom drawer of my desk for 9 years. She arrived on a Tuesday at 10:14 in the morning. I was standing at my kitchen window drying a mug when I watched the taxi pull up. She got out slowly. Beige cardigan, black slacks, the same pearl earrings she'd worn to church every Sunday since I was a girl, a small, worn suitcase. She stood on the sidewalk for 30 seconds, staring at my house. Then she walked up the path. She looked at the details, the porch swing, the garden beds, the craftsman trim. She took it in the way a real estate appraiser would. The doorbell rang. I opened the door. We stood 3 feet apart. She looked older, more gray, lines around her mouth that hadn't been there 9 years ago. Iris, a silence. I came to talk about the children's future. Not I came because I missed you. Not I came because I was wrong. I came to talk about the children's future. The children she had never met. The children whose photos she returned. I looked at her suitcase, at the folded paper in her hand. Come in. I didn't lead her to the living room. I led her to the kitchen. The kitchen had our life on display, photos on the fridge, artwork from the twins, a map of the world where Sophie had marked every place she wanted to go. The kitchen was where truth lived in this house. She sat at the table. I poured water. She looked around, her eyes landing on a photo of Marcus's mother with the twins, all 3 of them laughing. She stared at it for 5 seconds. Then she unfolded the paper. Her handwriting, blue ink, 5 bullet points. She read them aloud. Retirement fund for your father and me, $500,000. College fund for Paige's son, $200,000. Medical expenses, $45,000. Pay off the family home, $180,000. Monthly support, $3,000. She folded the paper and placed it between us. This is what families do, Iris. Your father worked his whole life. It's time to give back. I picked up the list, read each line one more time, and set it down. Not once did she say the word sorry. Not once did she acknowledge she was in a house she had never visited, asking for money from grandchildren she had never held. Then I walked to my office. The bottom drawer was exactly where I left it. I pulled out the binder. Navy blue, heavy, the kind of weight that comes from 9 years of documentation. I carried it back to the kitchen and set it on the table right next to her list. 2 documents. Hers, 1 page, 5 bullets, nearly $1 million. Mine, 29 items, 9 years, 0 apologies received. Diane looked at the binder. What is that? I sat down. You brought a list, Mom. I brought one too. I opened the binder to year 1. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I didn't perform. I read the way I read quarterly reports to the board. Factual, organized, item by item, 9 years of receipts. Every returned card, every ignored voicemail, every screenshot, every piece of proof that Diane Archer had systematically erased her firstborn daughter. The binder wasn't revenge, it was a record, and records don't argue. They just tell the truth. I pulled out the first item, a birthday card in a white envelope, red stamp across the front. Return to sender, still sealed. Item 1, birthday card, mailed September 12th, returned September 23rd. Her eyes widened. I pulled out the second. Item 2, wedding photo, returned. A third. Item 3, Christmas card, returned. I laid them out slowly, one by one, no emotion. Just documents arranged in chronological order. Diane's mouth opened, then closed. I moved to year 2. Item 4, voicemail transcript, duration 47 seconds, no call back. I set it on the table. Item 5, text from Dad, February 12th. 4 words, your mother needs time. It has been 9 years, Mom. How much more time did you need? She covered her face with her hands and made a sound I remembered from childhood. The controlled, theatrical cry she used when she wanted sympathy without surrendering control. I was hurt, Iris. You chose him over us. I didn't leave. You told me not to come back. People say things when they're upset. I flipped to year 4. Item 16, text from Paige to a mutual friend, forwarded to me. Her children don't have real grandparents, that's what she chose. She flinched. I flipped to the final tab. Item 26, family group chat screenshots. October 4th, I read Paige's message. Make a list, be specific, she's a numbers person. Then Diane's, she can afford to help her family. Her expression hardened. Anger, not guilt. You had no right to read that. I looked at her levelly. You had no right to return my children's photos. I reached for one specific item. Year 7. The envelope was slightly different, the flap creased, sealed with clear tape. Item 23, birthday card. Inside was a photo of Liam and Sophie. On the back I wrote, they ask about you sometimes. I tell them you live far away. Someone opened this card. Someone looked at their faces. Then they sealed it back up and sent it back. Who opened it, Mom? She was silent. Dad opened it. He wanted to keep it, and you made him send it back. Her hands were flat on the table now. She whispered, I was afraid. If I let him keep it, I would have had to admit I was wrong, that I lost 9 years for nothing. For a moment, I saw something real in her face. Not performance, not manipulation, actual fear. Then it was gone. Her chin lifted. You left us, Iris. You made your choice. I placed her list on the left side of the table. I placed the binder on the right. Your list, $925,000, 5 bullet points, no apology. I tapped the binder. My list, 29 items, 9 years of silence. A daughter you erased because she married the wrong man. She stood up. After everything we did for you, this is how you repay us. You raised me. That's not a debt. That's what parents do. We gave you everything. You gave me a card that said come home soon, then you told me not to come back. She had no answer. The garage door rumbled. Marcus walked in. He saw Diane, he saw the binder. He saw me, he didn't speak. He set his bag down, walked to my chair, put his hand on my shoulder, and sat beside me. No words, no confrontation. Just a man sitting next to his wife because she needed him there. Diane stared at his hand on my shoulder. At the space between us that held no performance, she understood. I didn't need the Archer family. I had already built my own. I spoke quietly, the way you deliver a final number on a balance sheet. Mom, I will not give you money. Not because I can't afford it. Because the moment I hand you a check, you'll believe you were right to stay away until it was profitable to come back. If you want to know your grandchildren, that starts with an apology. Not to me, to them. And it doesn't start today. It starts when you're ready to mean it. She picked up her list, then her suitcase. She walked to the door. She stopped, turned, opened her mouth, closed it, and walked out. The door clicked shut. Not a slam. A click. The sound of someone leaving who knew she had lost something she couldn't buy back. 2 weeks passed. Marcus and I didn't talk about Diane much. There wasn't much left to say. The twins never knew she visited. I preferred it that way. Kenneth called on a Tuesday morning. Iris, your mother told me what happened. I should have opened that door for you 9 years ago. I should have picked up the phone. I should have driven to Portland the day the twins were born. I'm sorry. Not because of the money. I want to know my grandchildren. Will you let me try? I was quiet for a long time. We start slow, Dad. Phone calls, no visits yet, no money, just talking. He agreed. That's more than I deserve. It's exactly what you deserve. Paige texted once. You could have just helped. I didn't reply. Some messages are their own answer. Diane didn't call. The binder sat in the bottom drawer. 29 items. 9 years. I didn't add a 30th. I hoped I would never have to. Family is not the people who share your last name. It's the people who show up when you have nothing to offer but yourself. Here is what 9 years of silence taught me. Family isn't the people who show up when your net worth changes. Family is the people who show up when your world is small, when your garage is cold, when your babies need a grandmother. The people who fly in from out of state every 6 weeks, crochet blankets, and teach your son how to make grilled cheese. That is family, and it was never about money. It was about showing up. That is my story. 9 years, 29 items, 1 navy binder. If this story reminded you that your worth was never about the numbers, share it with someone who needs that today. Drop a comment, hit subscribe to Winds of Thought, and I'll see you in the next one.